Imagine discovering an object in space, an object that wasn't launched by any known country, an object that appeared to be silently orbiting Earth, long before the space age had truly begun. Some believed it was a secret military satellite. Others claimed it was evidence of an alien civilization watching humanity for thousands of years. Photographs seemed to prove it existed. Scientists argued, conspiracy theories exploded, and decades later, people are still asking the same question. What exactly is the Black Knight satellite? The answer may be even stranger than the legend itself. The story of the Black Knight satellite is one of the internet's most famous space mysteries. For decades, articles, documentaries, and online forums have claimed that an unknown object has been orbiting Earth for nearly 13,000 years. Some say it is an ancient alien probe. Others believe governments have hidden the truth from the public. The mystery combines real scientific discoveries, misunderstood photographs, old newspaper reports, and decades of speculation. But separating fact from fiction isn't easy, because almost every part of this story is connected to a different moment in history. Some are completely real, some are misunderstood, and some have grown into myths, repeated millions of times across the internet. So, to understand where this incredible mystery truly began, we have to travel back more than a century, back to a time when radio itself was still a new invention. The origins of the Black Knight mystery don't begin in space, they begin on Earth. In the late 1800s, the world was entering a technological revolution. Electricity was transforming cities, communication was changing forever, and one brilliant inventor was pushing science further than anyone thought possible. His name was Nikola Tesla. In 1899, while conducting wireless radio experiments in Colorado Springs, Tesla detected unusual repeating radio signals. The signals didn't behave like ordinary electrical interference. For a brief moment, Tesla wondered whether they might have originated from somewhere beyond Earth. Newspapers later sensationalized the idea. Many people began believing Tesla had received a message from intelligent beings in space. Today, scientists believe those mysterious signals were most likely caused by natural cosmic radio sources or atmospheric phenomena. But at the time, no one knew. And that uncertainty planted the very first seed of what would eventually become the Black Knight legend. But no one could have imagined what would happen next. Tesla's mysterious signals were only the beginning. Over the next few decades, radio technology advanced rapidly. Engineers around the world experimented with stronger transmitters and longer communication distances. Then in the 1920s, another strange phenomenon appeared. Radio operators began reporting unusual, long-delayed echoes. Normally, a radio signal travels at the speed of light and returns almost instantly if it bounces off Earth's atmosphere. But these echoes were different. Some returned several seconds later. Others took even longer. No one could explain why. One of the scientists who carefully studied these mysterious echoes was Norwegian engineer Jørgen Hals. In 1928, he documented signals that returned after unexpectedly long delays, puzzling researchers across Europe. Some scientists suggested the echoes were caused by unusual conditions in Earth's upper atmosphere. Others believed they might have bounced off clouds of charged particles in space. But a few people proposed something far more extraordinary. What if something in orbit was reflecting the signals back? At the time, there were no artificial satellites around Earth. The first human-made satellite wouldn't launch until 1957. So if something really was orbiting the planet, what could it possibly have been? At the time, nobody realized that this was only the beginning. The mystery grew even larger during the early years of the Cold War. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a fierce race for technological superiority. Every unexplained object in the sky attracted attention. Every strange radar signal raised new questions. Then in the 1950s, newspapers published startling reports. Military radar operators had allegedly detected unidentified objects moving around Earth. Some reports claimed the objects were traveling in unexpected or unusual orbits. Since no nation had officially launched a satellite yet, the story sparked intense speculation. Was another country secretly years ahead in space technology? Or was something else entirely circling our planet? As the space race accelerated, rumors spread faster than facts. Each new report added another layer to the growing legend. Then came 1957. The Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1, the world's first artificial satellite. For the first time in history, humans had placed an object into orbit. But instead of ending the mystery, it made it even bigger. Now, whenever an unidentified object appeared in the sky, people had a new question. Was it a forgotten spacecraft, a classified military mission, or the mysterious Black Knight itself? However, things were about to become much more complicated. By the 1990s, the Black Knight story had already been circulating for decades. But one event would transform it from an obscure legend into a worldwide mystery. In December 1998, the crew of STS-88, the first space shuttle mission to begin assembling the International Space Station, was working hundreds of kilometers above Earth. During a spacewalk, astronauts released a small thermal insulation blanket. The lightweight blanket drifted away into space. As it slowly tumbled through orbit, cameras aboard the shuttle captured a series of remarkable photographs. The object looked dark, angular, almost mechanical. Against the blackness of space, it appeared unlike anything most people had ever seen. When NASA later released the images to the public, they quickly spread across the internet. Almost immediately, conspiracy websites claimed the photographs showed the legendary Black Knight satellite. The pictures were dramatic. They seemed convincing. To many viewers, they looked exactly like an unknown spacecraft silently orbiting Earth. The images went viral. Articles appeared around the world. Videos attracted millions of views. The mystery was reborn for a new generation. But there was one important detail that was often left out. NASA's mission records explain that the object was the lost thermal blanket released during the spacewalk. Engineers tracked it after it floated away. Within days, Earth's atmosphere pulled it lower and lower until it eventually burned up during re-entry. For scientists, the explanation was straightforward. For believers, it wasn't enough. Many argued the official story was simply a cover-up. They claimed the photographs showed something far more extraordinary. But the most shocking part was yet to come. Following the release of the photographs, the Black Knight legend exploded across the internet. Websites connected events that had happened decades apart. Tesla's mysterious radio signals, the long-delayed echoes, Cold War radar reports, unidentified objects in orbit, and the STS-88 photographs. Together, they were presented as pieces of one enormous puzzle. The theory claimed that a single mysterious satellite had been watching Earth for thousands of years. Some articles even suggested it had transmitted signals to humanity or monitored the rise and fall of civilizations. The story spread rapidly through online forums, documentaries, books, and television specials. At the same time, astronomers and space historians pushed back. They pointed out that each event came from a different historical period and had its own documented explanation. According to experts, there was no verified evidence connecting these incidents into one continuous mystery. Yet that debate only made the legend more popular. Every explanation inspired new questions. Every unanswered detail fueled another theory. And before long, the Black Knight satellite had become one of the most famous space mysteries ever created. Yet even after all these years, many questions still remain. So, if the Black Knight satellite isn't an ancient alien spacecraft, then what is it? Over the years, three major theories have emerged. Theory 1, an ancient alien probe. This is the most famous version of the story. According to the theory, an advanced extraterrestrial civilization placed an automated probe into Earth's orbit thousands of years ago. Some versions even claim it has been silently monitoring humanity for approximately 13,000 years, waiting for the right moment to transmit information back to its creators. It's a fascinating idea, but there is one major problem. No verified scientific evidence has ever confirmed that such a satellite exists. No space agency has detected an unknown object matching those extraordinary claims. However, the mystery doesn't end there. Theory 2, a secret military satellite. Another theory suggests the object was a classified spacecraft developed during the Cold War. Supporters point to unusual radar reports and decades of military secrecy as possible evidence. But historians note that many early reports were based on incomplete observations, radar anomalies, or objects that were later identified. No declassified documents have confirmed the existence of a hidden satellite matching the Black Knight legend. Yet perhaps the strangest explanation is the simplest one. Theory 3, a story built from real events. Many astronomers and science historians believe the Black Knight mystery isn't a single event at all. Instead, it's a legend created by combining unrelated stories. Tesla's unusual radio experiments, the long-delayed radio echoes, Cold War radar reports, and the famous STS-88 photographs. Each event was real, but they occurred decades apart under completely different circumstances. When combined, they create a narrative that feels convincing, even though no direct evidence links them together. Today, NASA and independent researchers continue tracking tens of thousands of objects orbiting Earth. None have confirmed the existence of an ancient, unidentified satellite matching the Black Knight legend. Perhaps the real mystery isn't a spacecraft, but how easily separate pieces of history can become one unforgettable story. Whether fact or fiction, the Black Knight satellite has earned a permanent place in modern mythology. It has inspired documentaries, books, podcasts, films, and countless debates across the internet. Its story reminds us that humans are naturally drawn to the unknown. When information is incomplete, our imagination often fills the gaps. Sometimes those stories disappear. Sometimes they become legends. The Black Knight became one of those legends, not because it was proven, but because it challenged people to ask one timeless question. What else might be waiting beyond our world? More than a century after the first mysterious radio experiments, and decades after the famous space photographs, the Black Knight satellite continues to fascinate millions of people around the world. Perhaps there never was a single mysterious object watching Earth from orbit. Or perhaps every generation simply reshaped old mysteries into a new legend. Science has answered many questions, but curiosity has never disappeared. Because history shows us that some of humanity's greatest discoveries began with someone asking what seemed like an impossible question. And maybe that is the true legacy of the Black Knight satellite. Not that it proved aliens were watching us, but that it reminded us how powerful mystery can be. As we continue exploring the universe, new discoveries will undoubtedly replace old legends. Yet stories like this endure because they inspire us to look up at the night sky and wonder. Perhaps some mysteries are never meant to be fully understood, but one thing is certain: the legend of the Black Knight satellite will continue to orbit human imagination for generations to come. Thanks for watching.